Hi there, this is Sherry Hayes with MomDelights.com, and today I'm going to show you how we're going to be studying ancient Egypt. And I'd like to give this study guide away to you as well, so stay tuned. So I've been homeschooling for about over 3 decades, and I've tried a lot of homeschool stuff. And I'm also a creative, so I don't necessarily stick to one idea. I like to incorporate all the best ideas together. And sometimes we will take seasons, seasons in our homeschooling. Sometimes we'll just be strictly, McGuffey's Readers, math, that type of things. Other times we'll just like read a book together and just explore that for a while. I always try to keep Bible and math and some writing in there. And sometimes we'll do what they call a unit study. A unit study is where you take one subject and you kind of do an exhaustive or a near exhaustive study on just one subject. So this subject that I'm going to talk today about is ancient Egypt. My daughter just expressed an interest in it. So I said, okay, well, I sat down, I went through all of the materials that I have, and the Lord just kind of dropped ideas into my mind. And so I just kind of came up with this plan, and I'd like to share it with you. I will show you different things we're going to be using, how we're going to be using, and maybe this will spark some ideas for you. I've done a little bit of the legwork so that you don't have to. You could, I'll put this on my blog, and you could download this free study and do whatever you want to with it. You don't have to do everything on the list. You could take this just as a starting guide for things that you would be interested in doing, whatever you want to do with it. I took these I got different sources for these different graphics that I'm using. This is, I think, is a Canva graphic. I think I got this from a Bible thing someplace. But anyway, it's really pretty. And so this is that. Okay, so the things on this list, well, maybe I should start with my supplies. So I do reviews, so I got these free for a review. I got a set of these little notebooks. I think they call this A5 size. It's like half sheet size, maybe just a little different. And it's a more flimsy kind of thing, but I think it would be really cool for us to take and just make this an Egypt notebook, okay? Like a little gathering of all their information. So we're going to use that. We're going to put together some, some of these index cards. I even have some graph ones. Have you ever seen these before? I think Walmart has them. Anyway, so I have these so we can do drawings, charts, etc. with that. I also, we're going to use like markers, pens, pencils, all that. And I found these little glue tape dispensers. I think that glue tape works better actually for mounting the index cards in the notebook, simply because it doesn't, it's really hard to pull off the card once you put this on. Glue sticks are great, I guess, for little kids, but they don't have longevity when you're putting them into that. So we're going to use these. I gave them each one. I think I got like a 6-pack of these in different colors. And we're going to use these. You can get these in craft stores and different places. I think you can get these at the dollar store. I'm not 100%. But they work. You just roll it and it just sticks. They're pretty nice to have. So we're going to use those. And we're going to use this information we're going to put in there. Now this right here, well, let me go through this. I'm getting ahead of myself a lot today. Okay. So according to this list, here are the different things we're going to do, and here's an explanation of what this is and stuff. Okay, so first we're going to try to watch a movie, Joseph, son of Jacob, the Dreamer, from YouTube. It's on YouTube. I think it was a TV series done in 1995, and I've watched it before, and it was really touching. So this is like an intro into ancient Egypt. Okay, we're going to read aloud this book. This book I printed. Now I created this on Canva. And Canva has a lot of free stuff that you can use, the free graphic stuff. I didn't want to put like the gods and goddesses things they had on there. I'm not interested in promoting paganism. I really take that stuff serious, right? I know we've been led to believe that that's passe, we're all materialists, postmodernists, whatever, but I think that stuff's pretty serious and I don't promote it. So I didn't put that Amun-Ra and all that kind of stuff on there. But I thought this was a nice scene of, just from what they were doing in everyday life. So I threw that up there. And so this is a book. I think it's called Peeps at Ancient Egypt by a fellow named James Bakey. And Heritage History is a place, heritagehistory.com is a place you can find a lot of old texts that are very interesting. They're like, they're narratives of history instead of being textbooks. So they're a lot more fun to read. This starts, and it, you know, here's a map of ancient Egypt. Here they have lots of different illustrations, but it's told from an older point of view, and it's kind of a little bit kiddish, but it's just so, it's like a story. It's really not boring or awful or anything like that. And, you know, I really like it. And when you print this out, it's a PDF that you can download from this website, and you print it out, and they have it laid out already like this. So you just print it out, and then you'll want to be, you know, putting it together on this side. I have one of those really super staples that staples like, what, 100 pages at a time, and that's how I put this together. Those are really handy to have if you can get a hold of one. But you could do it, you know, like you could do hole punch and dental floss. You could comb bind it. There's a million ways to do that, right? And if you watch my blog, you'll see that I have a million ways to do it. So anyway, so I think this would be a really fun read. Like, here, I'll give you an example. There is no more wonderful or interesting story than that which tells how bit by bit the great dark continent of Africa has been explored and made to yield up its secrets. But did you ever think what a long story it is and how very early it begins? See, isn't that fun? Sounds like a fun read. So I'm going to read that aloud. Okay, so that's one of our things. And then on our list we have narrate. Now, I'm going to have them, if you think about it, in the whole Bible, the life of Joseph doesn't take very many pages, right? So they're going to read that, and then they're going to narrate his life in this notebook, okay? So that'll be fun. Another thing we want to do is Answers in Genesis has an article about dating the pyramids, and it's done from a more biblical perspective because a lot of people are trying to refute the Bible by the pyramids and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, when you read it, you understand. They also have a free online book called Unwrapping the Pharaohs, which looked really interesting to me. It depends on how deeply you want to delve, how much time you have. I found that one of these studies, usually you kind of wear it out within 2 or 3 weeks, or at the max a month, and then everybody kind of gets tired of it, okay? So I don't know how much we'll get into this, but it looked really interesting to me. But anyway, Answers in Genesis has a lot more online than just what, I mean, it has all kinds of books for free that you can read online. So that's something to think about when you're planning a study. Okay, vocabulary, I have a vocabulary list that I put together. I went through all my different texts. I have, let's see, Streams of Civilization. I have like an Abeka World History. And I forget another one that I took it from. Anyway, I took, and I even did some Answers in Genesis kind of words. So I took these words that seem to be kind of, and some of them are names, you know, important names. And I put these all together. I should have put probably, and I have places to add in. I probably should have put mummification in here because that is a lot of fun, right? Okay. So anyway, no, I think I may have put it over here. Did I? No, I did not. So I should have done it over here. Anyway, something you can add, right? So anyway, here's just some basic things they are going to do the research on. They're going to take this right here, and they're going to use a page or two, and they're going to write each one of these and then research it. Okay, it's significant. So that'll be fun. So then we are going to do the kingdoms. Now, the kingdoms of Egypt, I guess, are important. So we're going to make a poster. We're going to talk about the kingdoms, and they're going to each decide what they want that to look like. So there's a lot of freedom, a lot of leeway, how they wanted to, you know, tell us what that looks like. Why are they significant? What was happening there? So the way they want to communicate that is going to be different according to the person. And so they're going to put that in here as well. Now, the cool thing about making a notebook is that you can do a 2-page spread. Like, they can add a page onto this page, and they can do a 2-page spread that folds into the book when they're done. So that's, you know, we've done that lots of times, and that's kind of fun. Also, with the kingdoms, then we're going to do research topics. Now, these are the research topics I was talking about. And I really think I should add mummification here because I have the Nile, Rosetta Stone, it's important. Egypt in the Bible, that's important because Egypt in the Bible is kind of a type that's mentioned all the time. Okay, architecture, appearance of the people, societal structure, daily lives. I should have put them, they'll probably touch on it in here, but I mean, when you study them on vacation, it's really, I mean, to me, ancient Egypt, they had a really kind of a dark mindset and dark culture. I mean, their paganism was really dark. I don't really like it, but we study it because it helps us to understand how God was moving in history, right? So anyway, so then we're also going to do now the plagues that God sent against Egypt in the Exodus. I mean, they're really, really interesting to correlate those plagues to the different gods that were being worshipped in Egypt at the time. So we're going to do a comparison chart. Okay. Then I'm going to have them, like as they're going along and they're finding something cool, we're going to have them create some quick facts pages. Like, you know, oh, this is something that's neat about, did you know this? Did you know that? Kind of like cool quick facts page. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And I think it will be, I don't know how much we'll get to. Hopefully we'll get to, you know, a lot of it. And maybe it would be neat to show on Instagram when they're done all that they've done for it. So anyway, I hope this blesses you. I hope this helps you. I will put a link below to my blog post where you can download this and print it out for free if you're ever interested. And let me know if you think that this would be, I mean, I love putting together these studies. And as we're doing studies this year, I'm kind of like into that mode. I kind of want to do that. So as we're doing studies, I will try and share these studies with you and create guides like this that you can use for your own kids. And maybe I'll do some of the legwork and give you some structure, and you can go do whatever you want to with it. You could even put it in file 13. So now I'll give you something more. So I'd like to talk to you about conspiracy theories. Okay. Now, we know that there is a lot of truth that is being discredited and called conspiracy when it's really not. It's just the truth that's not convenient for certain people in power, and this has always been this way. You know, they discredit the people that have the truth. It's just normal stuff. But I think sometimes we can get into a mode to where we think that everything is like this esoteric, secret knowledge, conspiracy-like stuff, okay? And I just want to tell you that there's always been a conspiracy since the garden. Here's what it is. We have on the one side, we have God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and in His people and in the creation. They're on one side. And then we have the devil, sin, and death on the other. Now the conspiracy is that the devil is always secretly, maybe not so secretly, trying to destroy everything that God is, right? And it's always been that way, okay? God, of course, is the obvious winner, but He allows this, the devil, sin, and death, to work His plan, because it's His plan that wins, okay? He creates and He builds up, and He's positive. So He's doing His plan, and so He can't do anything but use everything for good. Now, God is in control, okay? We don't have to fear the devil and his plans, because his plans are always going to fail. Always, okay? For his part, Satan convinces people that his is the good side, or that he or God do not exist, or anything else that works so he can kill, steal, and destroy. But God is in control. So every day we need to choose to be on this side, because, and I will read this Psalm to you in a minute, God is kind to the unthankful and the evil. That's what it says in Luke 6:35, okay? He is kind to the unthankful and the evil. But we want to make sure that ultimately we are on His side so we don't incur His wrath. Now let me read you this psalm, and maybe it'll really encourage you today if you've been hearing a lot of bad stuff. Let me read this to you. So I'm going to read Psalm 2. And let me go over here. Yeah, all right. Got all my little marks and things. I haven't really marked up this Bible very much yet. I mean, it's my go-to Bible. I actually have been using a lot of online stuff, but I'm not even thinking while I'm talking. But this is really a sweet Bible. Okay, Psalm 2. Psalm 2 is very, very good. Okay, why do the nations rage and the people plot a vain thing? So see, it doesn't matter what people get together and decide to do to the whole world. It's pretty useless. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against His anointed. Let us break their bonds in pieces and cast away their cords from us. Now, this is very important. This is really, really, really fun. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall hold them in derision. Okay, God is laughing at them because here they are, these little, it's like ants on a hill, right? So the ants on the hill, they they think, we have built this amazing city. Now we are going to take over the entire earth. And, somebody comes over and steps on it, right? So that's basically what it is. I mean, think about the human plans compared to the God who created the universe. Just saying. Then shall he speak to them in his wrath and distress them in his deep displeasure. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance and the ends of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore be wise, O kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all those who put their trust in him. So I'm going to stay on that side of trusting God. I'm not going to be afraid of them because I know who's in charge. But I am going to stay on the side of the Son of the King, and I'm going to kiss the Son. I love the Lord. He is an amazing, wonderful person. I would not want to live without talking and having him help me every day. But I tell you what, even if I didn't have that, I would know. To be smart, you better get on God's side. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't matter what the conspiracies are or are not. Stay on God's side. Stand for truth. Stand for the innocent. Stand against corruption. Stand against all the evil that they're doing towards little children. Because I tell you what, God is not happy with that. And if we don't stand against it, then we're with it. So stand up. Stand wherever you can. Do whatever you can. Homeschool your kids. Homeschool your kids and keep them from that. Encourage others to do the same. Did you know that you're going to save a lot of kids' lives if you can just encourage your friends to homeschool? Just to keep them out of that place where they're trying to butcher them? Do you understand? Oh, God. We have so much power, just by homeschooling, staying at home, loving our husbands and loving our children. We do so much. And we help our communities, and we are a bastion against the evil. I hope I've encouraged you today. God bless you. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.